Right, are we back? Is there anybody out there? The lights look really cool. That's really bright. Is there a stream back? Anybody there? There we are. I don't know. I think the stream messed up. Sorry about that. I had to retoggle 3 or 4 times just to get it back. But it's back, and yeah, clarity at night, brilliant. This game is now 10 times better. The only downside is the lens themselves are slightly smaller than the Vive. However, it's not a massive problem. The clarity outweighs the slightly smaller size lens. Even the lights on the dash look clearer. It's crazy. I really can't get over how much of a difference this has made. It's lovely. Welcome back to anybody who has come back. If everything's working, just let me know, because it's hard for me to double check when I've got a headset strapped to my eyeballs. Okay, let's do some cruising, because we are cruising for a browsing. Oops, that's my hand in front of the VR. I kind of wish we had a starry night, because I wanted to see what the stars were like in this. But we've got cloud cover, which is rather annoying, so I can't see out, which is a shame. Oh, don't tell me. Right, guys, it looks like my chat's not working because I got nothing updating. And I just had somebody message me to say there's a problem. So give me a second while I pull over and smash the crap out of it. PC, you're gonna get a kicking. Right. Everything's gonna go juddery a second. Boop. Right, Ed. I think we'll do that. That's going to be a quick fix. Right then, let's try again, shall we? Who have I missed? Yeah, it's glitched out, but we've got it back, I think. I do apologise. Get it back in gear. Oh, so Super, how you doing? Give me room, buddy. Move over. There's always something. Always. Always watching. So what's it like then if I put all the lights off? Oh, that's pretty dark. Gotta keep an eye on Super. He's trouble. Lurking back there. How's your day been? You had a good day? Looking for the Easter eggs? No. what Easter eggs is that? Because I've been too busy doing VR modifications today. So if there's anything in the news that I need to know about, you're gonna have to tell me because I haven't got a clue. That truck sounds crazy. Can I have that? I have no idea. I swear I hope so, because it's really transformed the headset for me. You know, if you're if you've let me start again. Right, did you buy it for guy off eBay? If it's, I think his name's VR something. Careful with postage, because he told me it would be here in like 2 to 3 days. It took over, well, it took nearly 2 weeks in the end. And he said, at one point he said, oh, they must have been lost, but I'll send you another set out. So it's not a problem. It was a little bit of an iffy transaction, but as long as you're doing PayPal, you should be fine. However, in the end, he sorted it out. They arrived, they fitted, they worked. I'm happy. There we are. As long as you've got someone who's rated well. Oh, you've been off work for the whole week, have you, with it? Yeah, you did mention about your bike accident. So if you went into the kebab shop, what did you have then? Did you have a lamb kebab with all the sauce? I mean, that's the least you could have done. The only thing you've got to remember is it's not going to improve the resolution, it just improves the clarity. I'm loving it. I haven't even done the file mod, which is supposed to improve the barrel lens effect that some people report. I can't even see the problem, but maybe it's because I got wonky eyes. Which got battered also. Ah well, you can't have everything, can you? Yeah, there's a couple of videos online with regards to doing the mod, so check them out. I'm trying to remember the one that I saw, but yeah, There's one where it shows in more detail where to place and where to pry up. And once I watched that video, I was like, oh, okay, let's try that. And boop, next thing you know, it popped up. So that's what I thought exactly. I thought, well, you know, 50 quid here in the UK. I thought, well, 40 quid over here, sorry. 40 quid in the UK. It's like, I can try it. If I don't like it, I can put the lenses back. I can sell the lenses on. It's a non-issue, you know. And considering I bought the headset, what, at 650, so it was not long after launch when they were discounted than I bought it. So I've had it a long while, and I thought, if I can enhance the headset and it gives it extra life, and I get to keep this headset longer and enjoy it more before, if or when I decide to change, thumbs up from me. It's like having a new headset, I swear. Hey, this one guy, welcome back. I do apologise about Nightbot. I swear I'm still working on Nightbot. I'm going to give it a good thrashing after this. Yeah, that's, you know, I don't know if I'm going to get into or buy another VR headset. I don't really use this headset that much, and I probably should. If there's a significant increase to the resolution without the performance being impacted too much, then it would be something of interest to me. Yeah, just say Corsa, you're all good. Oh, super, the quality for you guys isn't going to be that much different to what the stream was last time. It will look a little bit brighter because I've now got the HDR switched on because of the new lenses allow me to put the HDR without killing my eyes. So things will look brighter, a bit more colourful for you. For me, a huge difference. I'm actually enjoying using the headset more now. Nighttime trucking with HDR on doesn't hurt my eyes. My eyes aren't feeling as tired. The image quality is enhanced, clarity is better, screen door effect is about the same. I wouldn't say it's any worse for sure, and I was worried that the screen door effect is something I would notice more than the original lenses. However, I would say it's about on par. But the main thing is just how everything just looks so much clearer. I mean, if anybody else has got a Vive out there, you know, swear, I can pretty much guarantee he will stay the same. That there will be, if you look into the distance with a Vive headset and you use your peripheral vision to look, you will notice and you will see the Fresnel lens markings. You will pick it up, and that used to bug the hell out of me, but with this one, none of that whatsoever. Thomas, welcome back. Welcome back after I messed my stream up. Congratulations for finding me. I've always been a bit fussy when it comes to whether quality audio or quality image. I always try to get the best I can. It may not be the best you can get, but I try and get the best out of what I can afford, let's put it that way. If I was a millionaire, then yeah, but I'm not, so. I've got to make do with the money I do have, and that's not a huge amount. It's a lot of saving at the end of the day. A lot of work. Yeah, the wheel's sorted out. I just had to restart the software again for like the 3rd time in a row. But I think that's because I rebooted the wheel. So I did the software twice, rebooted the wheel, and then I did the software again, and then it worked. I know the guy that you mean. I mean, a bit overkill, I think, on the screens. I mean, at the end of the day, each to their own. But triple 4K, I don't know how. I'm not sure if he's running in a 4K resolution. I don't think he is. But I'm interested to find out what that would run like. You know, triple 4K screens. That's a lot of pixels. So if he's able to run that smoothly in 4K resolution on each panel in triple, good on him, to be honest. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you've got the most expensive screen, the cheapest wheel, or the best wheel, or the cheapest screens, as long as you're enjoying a game. You know, yeah, okay, I've spent a lot on my rig. I spent what I think isn't really a lot of money on the monitors. There's a lot more expensive monitors when you think there's ultra-wides out there for £1,000 a piece. Now the chatbot box up there is called OVR Drop, and that's something you have to add to the game that you're playing and overlays your chat into whatever you're playing. Well, I'm sure that, you know, at the end of the day, if he decides that he wants a better wheel, at least he can work his way up and decide what he wants to get. I think he's like me at the end of the day, where, you know, money's not growing on trees, so you got to do it a bit at a time. I'm just lucky that I was growing my system before I decided to start streaming. A GPS is assigned to a button, so I can bring it up like that for VR and just press the button twice and it just turns it off. So you got to make sure it's assigned to your keys. The one good thing with having triple 4K is even if you can't run 4K true now, at some point down the line, when you upgrade your PC, you get a better graphics card, this, that and the other, those screens will come into their own as and when his system grows, especially the PC. So if he can't run it now, a year or two down the line when the PC parts allow him to, he's going to have a cracking set of screens. Now we got signals. I just don't use them all the time. I'm lazy like that. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I chose the screens I got, because they're 1080p resolution just on an ultra-wide. I knew then that I'd have a good looking screen. It's an IPS screen, so it's good quality. It's a 144Hz screen, so when I'm gaming I'll have nice, smooth, you know, graphics. Yeah, the resolution technically is low, but for gaming, I don't notice it. And it means then I've got 3 screens that I know I can power perfectly fine now and run 144Hz perfectly fine. You know, a 4K 60Hz panel can be difficult at times. 3 of them? That's a hell of an amount of pixels. you know what's that's really annoying? I prefer, personally, don't get me wrong, VA panels are good. You get good black set of VAs. The only thing with VA panels is you've got to get a really good quality one, because VA panels can suffer from black crush, which means you lose detail in the dark areas, which kind of bugs the hell out of me. But every panel out there has good and bad points. Personally, myself, I prefer IPS because I'd rather have better color reproduction. VAs are getting better and better at color, but I've always preferred IPS myself. Hey Rib, how you doing? Yeah, the 1440p monitors, that's the problem, is when you go 1440p, that's more pixels again. Personally, I would love to see 1080 triples compared to 1440 triples compared to 4K triples. It's a numbers game at the end of the day. You've got to have the power to be able to push the pixels. And if you want to be running, you know, 144 hertz across your panels, you know, it does take a bit of grunt, you know. It's all good, thanks. Trying to enjoy my VR experience and my new lenses and my Vive. It's going pretty well, actually. $1440p, I would say, is a very good sweet spot. It's a good in between. You know, you get a very good looking panel, and it doesn't take as much as 4K. Doesn't take as much graphics to power the 1440p. So, you know, if you wanted to have a step up from 1080, but you were worried that you didn't have enough power to play all your games that you want to play at 4K, 1440p panel, absolutely. I mean, before I had these panels, I was running 1440p. I went through 3 1440p ultra-wides. All of them suffered badly with backlight bleed, and I gave up on looking for a new screen for a long time. In the end, these were released, and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. It's a 1080p ultra-wide screen. I'll see what it's like. It's IPS, ticked all the boxes everywhere else. The only side it lets itself down was the resolution. But to be honest, I can drive them easy. I got no problems, and I don't really notice the 1080p resolution when I'm gaming. So I'm not disappointed at all in that respect. Well, that's just it, see? Most people who play their games, the first thing they do is, oh, let's get a new game, we'll slap it in, let's put it on ultra settings. Can I run it? So if you've got a 4K, you may find that you have to bring your level down, you know, a high or medium setting, depending on the game. And it is game dependent as well. There are games that you could probably run 4K all day long on. So it will vary from game to game. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. If you're buying it as an investment, like Rib now, he's got 3 4K monitors. If you can run them now 4K and get 60 Hz on all of them, great. If he can't, what, 6 months, year down the line, new graphics card, new CPU, who knows? In 6 months' time, you could run them easy. What I need, see, is for Rib to do a benchmark on his screens running 4K resolution on triple screens, so we know what to expect. Because I tell you what, if he turned around and said, yeah, I can hit 60 Hz easy, I would certainly be considering 4K screens. But because I don't know anybody who's running 4K triples, and no one out there seems to be doing benchmarks on them, it's quite the risk to take. It could be, but it's weird. With triples, it's not the same. You can't really go, right, well, okay, 4K is X number of pixels, times it by 3 gives you this figure, and you know it's going to be running this amount of frames. The calculation doesn't work like that. Chances are it'll probably run higher than you expect, but will it run at the full frame rate? It just depends on how powerful your rig is, you know? I should have been in the other lane because I'm in the wrong lane. I'm stuck behind this guy. I'm going to push him now. Oh, go on. I want to go. I haven't got all day. Come on. He's not going to go. Not so much on PC. PC games will run 4K quite easy. Oh, absolutely. 1080 is being replaced slowly. The way I look at it, though, when I bought these, I was like, well, I didn't buy them because of the 1080p. The reason why I went for these monitors is because they do 144 Hz each. And there's a marked difference between 60 Hz and 144 Hz. Because I purchased my first monitor because I thought, right, okay, I'm taking a risk, I'll give it a go. If I'm happy, I'll keep it and I'll go triple. If I wasn't happy, then I'd sell it or I'd send it back and I'd look at, you know, 1440p. But I knew at the time that, you know, I would be spending nearly another £200–300 for a 1440p version. So it was a risk, but I got it in, had a look, I was happy with the resolution, but the main difference was running at 144 Hz. Once you've had 144 Hz, going back down to 60 Hz, it's like, oh, I can really see the difference now. And because I had never experienced that before, I was like, well, I don't know any better, so why is that a worry? But now I've got it, I don't want to be without 100 or 144 Hz. Because that is one of the biggest game changers when it comes to screen technology. You know, look at TVs now, there's a lot of the new TVs will support 120 Hz. So the technology is moving that way for TVs as well. I had this conversation with somebody before and I said, you know what, if there ever comes a time where you can get a 4K TV monitor, whatever, that gives you 120 Hz plus, that's going to be the perfect screen to get. You know, and then if they throw in HDR, full array backlighting on it, you got everything you could possibly want. You know, OLED is out there, but I don't think OLED will really work with the gaming community because of the image retention problems that it has. Very much like the old plasma days. And if you remember plasma TVs looked gorgeous back in the day, better than LCD could be. But you had to be really careful with them, because if you put a static image on a plasma, it did suffer from image retention. It's not so much burning out on the OLED, but you know, you do get color degradation over time. I think the blue on OLEDs fades over a period of time, but you're talking a long time. It's the image retention with a static image. Yeah, I agree with you there, Super. You know, if I knew that I could run 3 1440p at 144 Hz in near to all games that I play, I would probably absolutely go for that. But because it's an unknown whether I can run triples, if I run out of fuel, I've run out of fuel. I'm so busy talking, I've run out of fuel. Oh my god, that's so funny. Right then. Let's fumble around for the keys. Hold on. Yeah, the 144 hertz is the big thing for me. Hey, I got into talking. I forgot to check my tank. It's like, what? What are you doing? Yeah, but I didn't think. I mean, I was running on a 1440p monitor, 60 hertz for a long time. And I always said back then, you know what? I've never used 144 hertz. This looks perfectly fine. What I don't know isn't going to hurt me, so I'll leave them alone. But then, you know, you read reviews, you see videos about it. Everybody says once you've gone to 100 or 144 hertz, you're not going to go back, blah, blah, blah. So in the end, I buckled, didn't I? And I ended up changing and buying one. And that was it. As soon as I got it, I was like, oh yeah, I can see what they're all talking about. Yep, fill up now. But yeah, and that's the problem. Once you've tried it, it's. I think that's the one thing I would keep on a monitor. If I change from these, whatever I go for has to be a minimum of 100 hertz, ideally 144. I think the 240 hertz is probably a little bit overkill. I don't think it's a noticeable difference. There probably is a difference, but it's going to be small in comparison. Right then, where are we? Oh, we can look out. Let's go. Right. Right, before we go any further, we got 725. I got a turn. And I got to look at my fuel. Ah, we got 1048. We're good. Right, I'm back on track. Fuel back up. We're not going to mess that one up again, hopefully. Ah, that was so good. So didn't realise I was out of gas. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what screens you're running. As long as you're enjoying your games, you've always got the opportunity to change and upgrade at some point. It just means that, you know, if you don't have the money now, you just got to save up and do it later on. Yeah, no, it's. I was saying earlier on, I might look at repositioning that chat box and have it mounted down here next to the dash. You know, let's face it, if money was no object, if there were 4K 100 hertz panels out there, I'd be on them. But money's not growing on trees. Coca-Cola, is it? I'll have a couple, thanks. And the weighbridge is coming up yet again. So how many miles do we have left? Oh, another 14 hours. Oh my god. And survey says we got a green light. We had a bit of a glitch there. Ah, come on, there's always a truck next to me whenever I come out. Oh, right then. Times like this, you wish you had a music radio station you could play with, wouldn't get you banned off YouTube or something, but I know there are, but I get tired of them so much because they all repeat the same stuff. So where are we on the old map? Because this is looking a bit greener than usual, isn't it? Yeah, I went through a stage of doing those loyalty-free, whatever you call them, channels. And they're alright for a bit, and then you realise, yeah, I've heard this song like 100 times, I think I need to stop. So I decided, you know what, there's no need. If people out there need a bit of music in the background, I'm sure they can play their own. It's what I used to do anyway. Come on, let's do him. Oof, done. Easy. Yeah, I haven't got too many mods in this, to be honest. I've kept it pretty lean. For this, I just purely want to do the base. I may do a couple of engine mods, because it would be nice to make it a bit more... The horns. I mean, what is that all about? I think I need a horn mod, because I say it in EV every time I play. Oh, here we go, here we go. Be slow. Well, you'd like the yellow bullet. Wait, look where you're going. Yeah, I need to check to see if there's any really good truck mods. I'm sure there are for ATS, but now that I've got the game running better, the Vive is more enjoyable, I may actually say, okay, now it's time to concentrate on the game, look at mods, so maybe a horn mod, engine sound mod, see if there's a couple of trucks I fancy. Remember as well, I'm progressing through the game low down. I've played this game so little that I'm not very far into it. I've only got like 5 drivers and 5 trucks at the moment, so money's a bit tight. Where's my buttons? Survey says, oh, there we are. 7% on the truck, 3 on the trailer, nothing on the goods, so that's all good, as they say. Well, it's like any new game, innit? Everybody jumps on it. Hold on, am I turning now? Everybody jumps over a new game, multiplayer, single player. It's played to death within the first month, I guess. It's a shame, really, because in a way I do enjoy ATS. I just wish there was a little bit more. But it'll go with time. I think you've got to remember we're comparing ATS, which is a much newer game, with ETS that's been out a lot longer. So ATS will grow and grow anyway. And it's nice to swap back and forth and take a break from one and go to the other. At least on ATS, the long trips aren't so daunting because you can fly down the road with ATS. The minimum speed is way quicker. Yeah, and it will come. Like, you know, you see it with ETS, you know, they're constantly updating it. They're constantly adding new parts to old areas. The same will happen here, you know, they'll concentrate on the new areas, and when they get a bit of a quiet spell, they'll be like, okay, this part of development's going to take a little bit longer, let's refresh an old area, you know? Put some new stuff in. Well, at least that's what I hope anyway. You never know. Helicopter overhead. We're gonna have a goosey gander now. Make sure my head doesn't go into the monitor. It's there somewhere. And it's so nice just sitting here with the VR on and being able to look out and everything looking nice and clear. Everything looks a lot more convincing now. The yellow truck gang. Ah, we're all good. We're making some good time now. What are we on now? Let's have a look. 10 hours. Okay. That was 4 hours scrubbed off. Wasn't too bad. What's the cruise set to? 76. Let's see if we can crank that up a little bit, shall we? We're being a bit naughty. Trying to make up some time. Guess we can turn off the lights. Wait, coming off. Don't know if I need to slow down. 80 over here might be a bit overkill. Oh wow, there's a coastal area over there. Kinda cool. So much for 55, huh? There's me cruising along at 78. Trying to take in, so it's kind of difficult to take in the scenery in VR because you want to concentrate on the road as well. Right, can I fly through here? We're going to go for it. Oh, nice. Straight through. Oh wait, are we going to go over the bridge? That looks so cool. I went over a section like this in the last stream I did, and it didn't look this good. Yeah, these lenses definitely recommend. That is so much better. That's 10 times better than it was before. What's that supposed to be? Some kind of natural spring or something? Or I'm not quite sure what that is. Unless there's a boat on fire and we just can't see it. I'm not quite sure. So, 9 hours and 7. Fuel 3/4 of a tank. Yes, we must remember to check the fuel. We are a professional driver. That was funny. I have run out of fuel a few times, and the last few times I did it, I somehow managed to glide the truck into a fuel stop. That one, yeah, that was no chance. That was uphill and the fuel stop was nowhere nearby, so that was just not going to work, was it? I do wish the speed limits on ETS were better though. I do think some of them are too low. So I must admit, cruising at 78 and ATS is brilliant. And yeah, I know you can do it if you turn off, but it's like if you want to do the game, you put the truck limiter on. You're doing 55. It's like ugh. Whoa, that was close. Come on, buddy. There's always one. Gonna move. Go on, you know you wanna. Pull over. There you go. So I'm sure we saw a biplane then. Doing its acrobatics somewhere. Oh, there's the plane. Yeah. 10 out of 10 for these lenses. My eyes aren't getting tired at all. I guarantee you I would be streaming this long now. Like half an hour in, my eyes would be feeling tired. I'm not getting that feeling at all at the moment. So that's another bonus. Thank you. Oh, absolutely. You know, I was getting a little miffed that didn't get any responses when I needed them. But the resolution at the end, even though he said they were lost, I just don't think he sent them out. They arrived, they work, I'm happy, so... Which reminds me, I've got to go in there and close the dispute. If they arrived and they were scratched and they were in a poor state, yeah, I would have been pretty angry, you know? But fair play, did resolve it. Now I just got to wait for the new shifter and the keyboard tray, which I've got no news on. I emailed Demon Tweaks today, had no response, so they'll be getting a phone call tomorrow, and if I don't get the answer I'm expecting, which is they're on their way, I'll probably be cancelling the order, and I'll either order directly from SimLabs and get the keyboard tray that I need, and I may change the shifter because I've spied a different one I quite fancy. Uh-oh, treble. Oh my god. Jeez. Sorry. Tell you what, in VR, it really is like, yeah, stamp on those brakes right now, because that's coming in really fast. On the screens, it doesn't feel like that. Oh wow, that looks really good down there. Sorry. It's nice when you find those little areas that look really good. We're checking the map again. There's a road up there. Ooh, you can go that way. It's almost tempting to go and have a look. The old cruise back on, 78. What kind of time scale we got? 6 hours and 12. Anybody in the chat who's in the UK, what is the time, please? Because I haven't got a clue. Oh, it's 20 to 11, as I've just been informed. Right then. Because this will be the last job for ATS. Plan is I'm going to end the stream, but I'm going to launch Elite Dangerous, and I want to take a look at Elite Dangerous with these new lenses, so feel free to join me. It may be a bit of a mess of a stream because my Elite Dangerous I haven't touched in ages, and I think half my controls need to be remapped, but how I remember Elite Dangerous, it was a blurry mess at the best of times. I'm really hopeful that this mod clears that up completely, which I'm sure it will based on what I'm seeing here. Oh, cool, look at that. It's like a lake or something. Coming through. Don't think I've actually done VR stream with Elite Dangerous. Be interesting to see how that performs when I'm streaming. I've done it on triples, wasn't too bad. But then Elite Dangerous on triples isn't a massive. Oh, I'm doing it again. Load, swerve. Oh, that's okay. How are we doing? Oh. California dreaming. Okay. So we're going through California at the moment. Where we were going? I think just north of California, wasn't it? Outside of it. Or suburb of California. Is that... I don't know. I'm on a map. I can't remember. Oh, okay, I could have stayed in that lane then. I'm liking this, it's much better. Highway Patrol. Check it out. Safety, service and security. Now, I bet you any money I wouldn't have been able to read that before. That's a cracking price for that chip. If you look at most places online, they're still trying to sell them for 380 quid. I don't know how. You know, but 280 for that chip? That's a bargain price. Super, trust me. I don't think the 2080 is really worth it for what you're spending on it. Get yourself a second-hand 1080 Ti. 500 quid. Job done. That's going to do the majority of your games. What are you running at the moment? I mean, I've toyed with the idea of getting a 2080 Ti, but I'm not feeling it in terms of price to frames per second. You know, if I'm going to spend, you know, £1,300 to £1,500 on a graphics card, I want the jump to be a lot bigger. So you're running a 1070, you will see an improvement just by going for a 1080 Ti. Pick yourself up 1080 Ti, you know, and I wouldn't probably spend more than 500 quid on one second hand. You know, if you can, buy it locally where you can go see the card, check it running before you purchase. You won't have a problem. I mean, unless the card's been abused, even if you overclock the card is more than capable of running at overclock speeds. They all pretty much work the same in terms of overclock. You know, most of the cards overboost on their own, let alone pushing the power limits up. And really then what I would do is sit on your money, wait for the next edition of cards, and then I think that will be the time to buy. The only problem is, are they going to put the prices up yet again, you know? Hopefully, I'm hoping they don't. I hope the prices either stay the same, or they learn their lesson from this year and say, oh, okay, maybe we've overpriced them because the sales aren't as good. And the next thing you know, the next edition of cards will be same as or slightly less. But I doubt it will be cheaper. But there isn't one game that I play at the moment where I think, you know what, it definitely needs a new graphics card. I've got to have it now. As far as I'm concerned, I can hold off. Unless, of course, Dirt 2 comes out and everything just fails and I'm only getting 10 frames a second, then yeah, I'll probably change. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Yeah, well, you got to remember this. The founder cards are the early editions. They're the blower type cards as well. Some people prefer blowers. Me personally, I would go for the aftermarket ones because they do tend to run cooler. Hey James, how you doing? Wow, look out! God, that was a bit of reading text and not paying attention to the road. Rib's still around. What's Rib up to? You're not streaming today? I should have gone into the car park and had a look. Now this looks really good. This is where ATS comes into its own when they do these little bits of scenery. That looks really nice. It's better than the desert look that they have all the time. Nah, this is just straight up ATS. Nothing fancy going on. It's just got all the DLC in terms of maps. I'm not running anything special. No extra special map packs or anything. Just plain and simple. Some areas are just done really nice. A coastal area. Yeah, I've slowly been increasing the resolution to the headset because I didn't want to just max it out and just found I've just crippled the whole thing and I'm streaming. So I've gone from 150% improvement to 200%. Don't think it's worth me going any higher because I'm not noticing that much of a difference. But this is looking the best it's been. So modifying the lenses has helped, and improving the overall, that was tight, quality that's rendered in the headset has helped with the overall image quality. Now, reading signs is easy. The detail in the scenery looks 10 times better. I'm loving it. Glad I've tweaked and mod things as I went along. Let's have a look here. What do we got? 2 hours 47 remaining. We're going to go wide here because we want to have a look. Ah, that's done really nice. That's really quite convincing. I know, right? With a couple of bikes parked up. If I had noticed that early enough, I would have swung in, and we might actually. I'm wondering what's down there. And there's a road down there. There we are. Look, we'll head down that road now. So we'll take this road. We'll have a quick peek, shall we? Seeing as it looks like we can turn around easy enough. Got your little caravan park. What do they call it? I forget the words of the term they use. It's done really well. Ooh. Okay, we'll stick our head out the window, shall we? Well, that's pretty damn cool. Hey, Pro Gaming, how you doing? Ooh, way up. He wants to come through to you. Yeah, nice bit of driving, mate. Can't you see him going? Oh, look at that. That's nice. Oops, watch the fence. Trailer park, that's the word, yeah. It's done really well. Sorry if I sound a bit more faded away because the microphone's to the right of me and I'm looking at the left. That's done really nice. There are a couple of gems in ATS when it comes to scenery and locations. This is one of them, I think. It's really nice. Right, come on, let's crack on. Crack a beer. I mean, there's a shed load of detail around here. Look at the buildings. There's just so many things dotted around. Fuel, we're going to be good, I think. Let's have a double check because there's a fuel stop. Yeah, 131, we're fine. Junction 199. Right then. Let's get this truck to its destination, because I want to get into Elite Dangerous and have a bit of a go on that before bedtime. Which mod do you mean? Do you mean the Vive mod? Sunset looks really nice. It's a shame that was blocked off. Wow, this whole area is done really well. I think I've been up here before, but that looks stunning. Oh my god. I don't think there is a Pro Mods for ATS. This is just the vanilla ATS. Nothing fancy. But when they do it right, they do it right. I mean, look at this. This is just the standard game, and that looks beautiful. And I think the fact that it's in VR for me makes it stand out even more, because this looks so good in VR. I'm hoping it transitions well to a single screen for you guys. California is where they got some nice scenery. And I think, what's the other one? Ontario? Is that the one? I can't remember what the next one is. One of the recent ones. That sky looks stunning. Ooh, is that a road we can go down? Nope. They've blocked it off again. Why can't I go down there? I'd love to go down there. I'm not going to risk try driving around. I'll probably get stuck. 1 hour 34. Ooh, anchors. Let's take a peek, see if we can find anything. I think we're a little bit too far away, actually, which is a shame. Can't quite see, but you can get the gist of it. Oh look, can we get out and walk up the path? Will room scale work, and can we walk down there? Okay. I think we need the lights on again, don't we? Yeah, there seems to be. There are the odd road. There seems to be more in ATS that I've noticed, but I'm guessing that's because I'm travelling and keeping the eye on the road so much, I'm missing what's going on to the side of me when I'm doing ETS. But these coastal roads, they're great. But then again, I think all the coastal roads, even in ETS, the coastal roads are very good. Look at that, there's a full house and God knows what rendered back there, but you can't even get to it. That's crazy. For 1 hour 14. Oh, let's have a look. Road section down there. Another little hidden away beach. See, check out that road over there to the right. Can we go up? No, there's another road they've blocked off. Oh, sucks. Yeah, whatever, copper. What's this then? Rest area. Actually, you can pull right into this one. Go right up. Let's have a look. Is it just going to be a really boring coastline, or are they going to do something with it? Oh, let's get as close as we can. try and squeeze through. Oh, it's a shame. I just want to be a little bit closer so you can see more of what's going on. Trying to have a look before the sun vanishes and we can't see anything because it's going to be pitch black. Right, foot of the floor is getting dark. 48 minutes. At least the stars are out. Because even the stars, they look really clear. They used to be a blurry mess with the old lenses, so that's a hell of an improvement. Oops. Absolutely foot down now. I didn't enjoy ATS or ETS at night in VR at all, but I'm loving it now, I tell you that. Way better. This is really nice. And again, nighttime, it's not hurting my eyes. That used to be the worst part. My eyes would be aching at night, but it's lovely. Come on, we're nearly there. It's just down the road. Look at that, straight in, I think. Could check out his dash. That's lit up quite a bit. It's good that they've gone to that detail, you know. You can see the dials. I can make out the dials in that car. I can see the like the radio and controls of that car. I think I need to be... Oh, he's just taking his time because he's dual trailers. We'll nip in front of him. Nearly there. Just down the road. Yeah, nighttime this is way more enjoyable. Keep it rolling. Right, so dropping off should be down here.
Do you want to drop in on bedroom?
What? Alexa, stop.
There are no other devices or contacts to drop in on.
I should hope not. She makes a crummy passenger, I tell you. Comes out with some random stuff. Right. We're going around the back. Oh, she's still at it. And I still forget to press the button on the top to mute her. But there we are. I'll live and learn, innit? I clearly don't. Right. I think I may have overcooked it, but we can fix it. And we're in. I think it was, wasn't it? Dave! Oof. Ranked up a bit, brother. What is it going to give us today? It's tempting, but I fancy doing Hazard. I could get some, yeah, I think I'll go with that. Get some explosives on the go. Oh yeah, well we got a bit more cash. May look to get in a few more drivers. At least another driver or two and a truck or two. No, I got a truck. Yeah. Right. So there we are. We're going to leave ATS here. We're going to squeeze those two in. I want to nip on to another game. Elite Dangerous, because I really want to see how this headset is working on there. So I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to jump over to Elite Dangerous. If you've got nothing better to do, if you want to join me, you're more than welcome to. I'll be back probably in the next 5-10 minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, have a swig of water, get a coffee, whatever, and then I'll be back to have a play around. It's only going to be messing around on Elite Dangerous, maybe setting up the controls. Probably dying a few times. Nothing fancy because I haven't touched that game in a long time. So take care. And if you're around, I'll see you in the next stream. Bye for now.